Hello everybody and welcome to another video. Now this video should be no surprise to anybody. I did say I was going to do it a couple of weeks ago when I checked out the Chris Watts video by Skynd. We're going to look at the other track that they released whilst I was incarcerated in the hotel, Armin Meiwes. Now this is a case I'm actually familiar with. I do remember this quite well, but we'll still talk about who he was anyway. Armin Meiwes was born in December 1961 in Germany, and he is a former computer repair technician. That's what I used to do, and I was born in Germany. Anyway, he received international attention for murdering and eating a voluntary victim in 2001. Now, if I remember correctly, he actually advertised saying he wanted to meet someone to partake in this, so they knew what they were getting into as far as I'm aware. After Meiwes and his victim jointly attempted to eat the victim's severed penis, which I believe they didn't manage because it was too tough, Meiwes then killed him and proceeded to eat a large amount of his flesh. He was arrested in December 2002, and in 2004 he was convicted of manslaughter and sentenced to 8 years and 6 months in prison. Considering what he actually did, you know, considering he murdered someone and ate them, 8 years and 6 months is pretty minimal. I suppose because the guy consented, they can call it manslaughter, not murder. I don't know. Anyway, in a retrial in 2006, he was convicted of murder and sentenced to life. There we go, that's better. Because of his acts, Meiwes is known as the Rottenburg Cannibal, or Der Metzgermeister, the Master Butcher. So there you go. So yeah. Now, this is another recent one, because most of the other Skynd tracks we've looked at, they've taken cases from maybe the 90s, but these ones are more recent. But I'm expecting something quite disturbing lyrically for this video, and I'm expecting the video to probably be pretty good as well. So, without any further ado, let's jump into this track. I'm really excited for this and see what we have. So this is Armin Meiwes by Skynd. Let's have a look. Well, there we go. And as expected, dead fucking creepy. The way the vocals are done in that, it's very confusing. Or not confusing, it's... They're very offbeat in like the main part of the verse. It's not off-putting, but it really does something to your head. The way that the main part of the song is sung, it's really it's weird. Now, as is normal for Skynd, they have put certain aspects from the case into obviously they have, but you know, they've taken like documented pieces of writing and stuff like that, like the advert that he posted. You know, they've pretty much put part of that in the lyrics. Now, the song opens up saying, "Let him be fat or lean, let him be fat or lean. Tomorrow I will kill him, tomorrow I will. Let him be fat or lean, let him be fat or lean. Tomorrow I will cook him, tomorrow I will. Table set for tonight, waited for this all my life. Candle lights shining bright, pull the cork, pull the red wine. Long big steak on my plate, potatoes and sprouts on the side. I savour my first bite, satisfied my appetite." So, you know, that pretty much sets the stage for everything. You know, let him be fat or lean. You know, he doesn't care what the person's body is like. He's gonna, you know, he wants this to happen. You know, tomorrow I'll kill him. You know, I'm gonna do this no matter who this person is, fat, lean, whatever. This is what I'm gonna do because you know, he feels this compulsion to do it. You know, table set for tonight. I've waited for this all my life. You know, this is something he's been, you know, he's really wanted to do. He's been craving it. He feels like he needs to do it. You know, so he's setting up this lovely, beautiful sort of romantic dinner sort of thing. You know, pull the cork on the red wine. You know, I've got a big long steak on my plate. You know, got potatoes and sprouts on the side. You know, savour his first bite. Satisfied my appetite. You know, this is exactly what I've been wanting all my life. This is what I needed to do, and it's wonderful for him. There it goes. "If you're between 18 and 25, I want you to stay with me. I want you to stay with me. If it's your desire to end your life, I want you to stay with me. I want you to stay with me." Now, this is the bit that pulls directly from like the advertisement that he published. Now, he posted an advertisement on a website called The Cannibal Cafe, which was a forum for cannibalism fetish. Meiwes advertised, stating that he was looking for a normally built 18 to 25-year-old to be slaughtered and consumed. Now, the person who actually answered was Bernd Jürgen Armando Brandes, who was a 43-year-old engineer from Berlin. And he's the only one who didn't actually back out, because Meiwes didn't actually force anybody to take part. They, you know, he was like, if you want to back out, that's fine. You know, he didn't actually force them into doing anything against their will. So there was a certain level of respect, if you will. You know, he wasn't just going, right, I'm going to have this person, I'm going to murder this person. It's like, I want you to be willing to take part in this. I want you to be willing to do this. I'm not going to force you to if you don't want to. So, you know, it's a very weird sort of aspect to say that he had a kind of respect for the person. I mean, given what he did, but there was a level of respect there. Weird. Anyway, then it goes back into the opening of the track. "Let him be fat or lean, let him be fat or lean. Tomorrow I will kill him, tomorrow I will. Let him be fat or lean, let him be fat or lean. Tomorrow I will cook him, tomorrow I will. Painkillers, cough syrup, sleeping pills, bottle of schnapps. Sink your teeth, chew it up. Take a knife, make a clean cut. Roast the flesh, medium heat. Add garlic, pepper and salt. Meat is too tough to eat, so I'll feed it to the dog." So, painkillers, cough syrup, sleeping pills, bottle of schnapps. You know, this is all the things that he fed to his volunteer, you know, to try and take the edge off the pain, you know, to sort of deaden like the agony of what he was doing, because, you know, obviously this guy was awake when he had his genitals severed, because he took part in trying to eat them. And it says there, sink your teeth in, chew it up, take a knife and make a clean cut. So obviously, you know, using a very clean knife, a very sharp knife, he made this cut to castrate said man. And then, you know, roast it, medium heat, garlic, pepper, salt, you know. And it says meat is too tough to eat, so I'll feed it to the dog, which is the result of what happened from what I remember. You know, they tried to eat the guy's junk, but it was too tough, you know. So they ended up feeding it to the dog. And that's the part that I seem to remember quite vividly, you know, because it was just really weird. It's like, well, I can't eat it, so yeah, sod it, give it to the dog, let's not waste it. I wonder what the dog thought of that. He was probably just thinking, oh, meat. Waiting for him to bleed out, reading Star Trek for 3 hours, finally kiss him once, and kill him, then slaughter him like a piece of livestock. So there you go, waiting for him to bleed out. So, you know, he knew that, you know, this wound that was inflicted was eventually going to cause him to die because of blood loss. So he sat there reading Star Trek for 3 hours whilst this man slowly died in his house, just so he could chop him up and eat him. And it goes back into the chorus, if you will. If you're between 18 and 25, if you want to stay with me, no, I want you to stay with me, I want you to stay with me. If it's your desire to end your life, I want you to stay with me, I want you to stay with me. Then back to let him be fat or lean, let him be fat or lean, tomorrow I will kill him, tomorrow I will. Let him be fat or lean, let him be fat or lean, tomorrow I will cook him, tomorrow I will. Then it goes, slaughtered, decapitated, gutted, cut in half, scalded, washed, portion by portion, packed in freezer bags. Cutlets, ham, goulash, steaks, knuckles, bacon, portion by portion, cater your part of me now. Forever. And that forever at the end of the track was really ominous, you know, the way it was sung, the way she looked directly into the camera when she said it, you know, it really made it quite ominous. But, you know, this is basically what he did, you know. He slaughtered the guy, decapitated him, gutted him, and then cut him up into all sorts of pieces, you know, put him in freezer bags and stuck him in the freezer, you know, saving him for later, as it were. You know, cutlets, ham, goulash, steaks, knuckles, these are all the things that, you know, he was doing. So, yeah, a really disturbing story. A really disturbing track by Skynd. I mean, it is a good track. I wouldn't say it's one of my favourites. Lyrically, I love it, but the actual performance in it, the way that the main part of the vocals is done, like I said, it's very... You know, it's offbeat, sort of quite you know, it doesn't sit well when it's being done. And I suppose it's done like that on purpose. It's supposed to make you feel uncomfortable. It's not one of my favourites by them, but I still like it. And, you know, I like the video as well. The way, you know, Skynd herself she's almost doing like a cooking show, you know, and at the end she's holding up that pie sort of thing, you know. What we've pretty much come to expect from them. And, yeah. Another great piece of music by the band. Like I said, probably not my favourite, but still a great piece of music. And once again, covering another really disturbing case and, you know, making the track itself reflect just how disturbing and grisly it was. So, yeah. I wonder what's going to come next. Because, I mean, there's a whole wealth of true crimes that Skynd can go through. I mean, they could release like so many tracks. Yeah, they could go on forever, given the nature of crimes and stuff that have happened in the past. But yeah, I'm intrigued to see what happens next with this band. But yeah, don't know what else to say with that, so I think I will leave that as it is. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.